This is the Fan Connection podcast where we talk all things sports entertainment. We're your hosts. I'm Royce Michaels.
And I'm Devin Steele.
Let's get right into it.
We're live.
So we start the Money in the Bank off with the men's match.
Yeah, how crazy is that? That
It is kind of wild.
the pay-per-view that it's like the match that the pay-per-view is named after started first.
Definitely not how they usually do. I think last year the Money in the Bank men's match was the last match.
But
If I'm not
as far
mistaken.
as Money in the Bank matches go, this one was solid. Like actually the lineup
Yeah.
was pretty good. There was good chemistry. The spots were cool. I mean, I feel like everyone contributed in some way that was in the match.
It was a decent Money in the Bank match for the amount of younger talent that was in it for sure. Like I was truly impressed.
Yeah, and so like Chad Gable, he was really versatile in the match. Like I feel like he was used a lot. He even did he did a suplex on a ladder and he hit somebody with
Yeah.
the ladder doing a suplex on it.
Yeah, the Chad Gable and LA Knight spot was pretty good because like he snapped LA Knight's head back and it looked like he like busted the back of his head on the ladder and then he suplexed him over, dude. It was a hell of a spot.
And he did
And then
an
like
armbar on off the ladder too. He armbarred
yeah,
Drew McIntyre, I think.
and we've seen a bunch of like, dude, high impact moves, dude. Like a lot of stuff happened. Like it was a thriller, dude. There was times where I didn't know who was gonna win. Like I like I called Jey Uso. That's who my pick was, and I I thought he was gonna win about two or three different times.
Yeah, I gotta gloat just a little bit that I was correct. But I think I'll save the majority of it for later on. Uh, and so in the match, I feel like even though Drew McIntyre won, I didn't really feel his impact that much. And same for Jey Uso. He was in the match and he was doing like finishers and stuff, but I don't. He didn't really do anything that the Usos are known for. I don't feel like he didn't do a splash off the ladder or anything.
No, I know that is true, man. I just want to say to everybody out there listening, Devin Steele may be the only person that called Drew McIntyre to win the Money in the Bank. Good shit, by the way.
Yeah, and bro, LA Knight.
That was a bold prediction. That was a bold prediction, man, and you called that, and like that's good shit.
Yeah, say my name. Say my name. That's all I can really say. Uh, I don't know how I predicted that, bro. If I'm being honest, like I just felt it. I think.
Something that went unpredicted though. No White Six.
Yeah, there was actually no interference in this match. Like nobody. Not even Logan Paul.
Like we had called so many different people, and it like I was like, dang, everything just kind of happened, and Drew just won. Like nothing really, nothing happened. It just went like a match win, like
I
the Money in the
do
Bank goes.
I can agree with you there that I feel like everything sort of happened around Drew McIntyre and he capitalized at the end pretty much.
Right, right.
But I mean, LA Knight and Jay were teaming up in the match too. I don't know if you've noticed that. They teamed up and up until they both climbed the ladder, of course.
Right.
I mean, Andrade did a sunset flip off the ladder, really cool. I mean, there was stuff to do in this match. It's like it was really
There,
entertaining.
there's definitely a lot going on, and I enjoyed it.
But
I gave that match. The match grade was a B for me.
I gave it an A, and now I'm gonna kind of go through and list my attire grades because I graded each person individually. So
And I'll list mine right after he says his.
for Jey Uso, I gave his attire an A. I liked the white and gold. His entrance attire, like I feel like there was some real genuine effort like put in. Like he made sure that he was gonna look good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Andrade, I gave his attire a D. Like I just thought it looked like crap. It didn't match. The colors didn't match. the mask looked like an off-brand Red Skull sort of thing. I just thought it looked like crap. Uh, LA Knight, I just gave his a C. It's basically the same as what he wears on SmackDown. He just added a logo where his junk is, and it's like I'm not really trying to look at that. Carmelo, I gave him an A as well. I thought his like the blue and red worked really well for him, and he had like these studded like diamond sunglasses. I thought looked really cool too. Drew McIntyre, same thing he wore at Clash, bro, except for instead of red, he just had green patches on it for Money in the Bank. And that's cool and all, but I just gave him a C. It's just the same. And for Chad Gable, I gave him a C as well because his singlet that looked like the exact same one he wore at King of the Ring.
Yeah, and that's pretty much about what I got, man. I gave Jey Uso an A minus. You know, I liked his, but it's about the same. I like the Yeet. I don't know, I like all that, so I gave it A minus. Andrade was a D to me. I don't know what he thought he was doing out there with that, but he did it. LA Knight, I gave him a C because it's just the same old thing every PLE for him. I gave Carmelo an A because I did like his attire. It looked a little different than what he has been doing, so I liked it. Also, the Drew McIntyre, I gave him a B minus because after your prediction, I was just like, he looks like he like might win now. You know what I mean? Like once he got into the match, like got out there in his entrance and everything, I was like, Drew's looking pretty fire right now. You know what I mean? And then Chad Gable, I gave him a C plus because it was pretty much the same, just different color. You know what I mean? So it was a pretty all right match. I enjoyed it. You called it, man. That's crazy.
Yep, solid men's Money in the Bank match. Next up, Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn for the IC title, and I know you've got something to say.
Man, I am so disappointed, man. Braun Breaker had that match won. Sammy got him up, got over, and that's crazy. Like, what's next for Braun Breaker, dude? Like, can my prediction for the Royal Rumble be coming true slowly but surely?
Well, he lost. And even with all the momentum he's got, he still lost. That I think that's the only thing I got wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that is the only thing you did predict wrong, which I got that one wrong too because I called Braun Breaker winning, and that didn't happen.
as far as the match goes, though, I mean, it is a pretty good match, bro. Like, um, I'm not a fan of the outcome, and but I mean, Braun Breaker put on a good show. Sami Zayn worked together well. Sami Zayn was pulling out all the stops, bro. He even went for the under like the through the third rope DDT before Braun Breaker
Yeah,
stopped him.
right.
The Frankensteiner spot, cool as always. Uh, but I mean, Braun Breaker was doing so much crazy stuff. Like he was hitting these moves. He jumped from the apron of the ring all the way to the announce table. And that's not
Yep.
an easy jump, dude. He's athletic as
No, it
hell.
is not.
He's so fast. He was blitzing Sami Zayn, dude. Like Sami just couldn't keep up. But in the end, all it took from Sami was one hell of a kick, and that just was it. I mean, the match was good. I liked it. I was entertained, but it didn't really feel like something that needed to be at a pay-per-view. I think they could have did that on Raw, bro.
Right. That's why I gave that match a B minus.
I graded it a B as well. For the attires, Braun Breaker, I liked his singlet, bro. Like the bright colors, I think worked well on him, and it was something different. So I'm gonna give him an A. But
Yeah.
for
I
Sami
also
Zayn,
gave Braun Breaker an A because it looked like he did something kind of like his dad and his uncle did when they were a tag team. So I really liked his singlet.
yeah, but for Sami Zayn, I just gave him a C, dude. It just kind of it looked like the same thing he always wears. He had like some minor design changes, like he had like some lacing on the pants, I think. But it's like
Yeah,
it
I
just wasn't
also
that
gave
cool.
Sammy a Z because they just look the same to me too. I also gave him a C for that. And now I just what's next for Sammy, what's next for Braun pretty much is like what we'll find out on Raw, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't feel like Sami Zayn's title run has a lot of direction at the moment. Like I don't want to see Sammy lose. I like Sammy, but I feel like there's no narrative to him being the IC champion anymore. It could be anybody holding that belt.
Right. It's just like, I don't know. It was a good storyline when he won it, but like now it's just like I think it might be time to pass it on.
I think the perfect time was that Clash, and they didn't capitalize on it. But I'm not going to keep repeating myself on that. Let's move on to Cena's retirement announcement.
Yeah, John Cena 2025 tour has officially taken place, man. I
Man,
know we're going to talk on this subject for a little second, but I just want to say thank you, Cena. We used to hate you, but now we respect you. Like I'm glad you're like, coming back to wrestle a year. The last year you're going to be involved, physically involved in it. That makes me feel like you actually care about the fans that stuck with you and actually hated you and went for you all the
uh,
years. So that's respectable. I actually enjoy that
there's
about what
something
you
to be
said.
respected about John Cena sticking out his last year because he could go to Hollywood, bro. He doesn't have to do this. He could go to Hollywood and make way more money and just say forget about us, but he wants to do this for us. Is like so I am not going to sit here and lie. Back in the day, I was a Super Cena hater, bro. I said quit burying people. It's
Dude,
like
we both of us we both had it out for Super Cena back in the day, man.
but it would be a lie if I was sitting here and I said that I wasn't a little bit upset when those words come out of his mouth.
And the fact that his shirt, man, the shirt said like the detail in it, man, like how how a shirts usually look. And then he's got the like on the front of it is like the last time is now. And then he's got on the back, it's like after this you can't see me. And I'm just like, oh man, like he's here to like say goodbye or something. And then like when he actually said he was gonna be there and be in the Royal Rumble and everything, I was like, dang bro, this might be actually pretty good. That might be building something.
Yeah, dude, I did not expect John Cena to come out and announce his retirement. That just kind of come out of the blue. But I've got a lot of respect for John Cena now that I've gotten older. And all I can say is like you, thank you, John Cena, for your contribution to professional wrestling. And if this is really your last year competing, I'm gonna be watching it intensely.
Yep.
I'm not gonna miss a detail.
And we will be reacting on it, definitely.
It just makes me feel
Reacting
like
on
I'm
it.
getting old, dude. It's like Jesus
Me and you
Christ,
both.
John Cena's gone, or he's leaving.
But then that gets us into our next match, moving on down. We had Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest, dude. Seth Rollins loses his chance at the world title as long as Priest is champion now.
And now this is where the gloating's coming in. Say my name, baby. I was right. Did anyone else predict Drew McIntyre entering as a triple threat and CM Punk showing up?
I think not.
I think that's just somewhere deep inside me from being a CM Punk fan for all these years. I just felt it. Like I said, dude, I have no idea how I predicted that. That just like come out of my mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a good prediction, bro. Like as soon as when I was watching the match, as soon as I heard the sword, like Drew McIntyre's sword thing, I was like, "Oh my gosh, there ain't no way." And
I
he comes
really have
walking
no
out,
idea how I was right.
but at the same time, bro, would you have been right if Damien would have kicked out?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Was Drew supposed to cash in last night, man?
I think maybe
Because
he was
you seen
supposed
it, you
to, but
seen
just
it,
later on in the match.
because you seen it just like I seen it. It felt like he was supposed to kick out at 2,
Leave it to
and the whole
Damien, bro.
crowd,
Leave it to
the whole
Damien.
crowd thought the match was over. And Damian Priest, man, for the second PLE in a row.
Botches the main event badly. I, is there anything else to say about Damian Priest that everyone doesn't know?
He's losing that title to Gunther, man. That's all I think there is left to say because I mean, dude, there ain't no way that's just gonna, Monday Night Raw is gonna be a shit show probably anyway because of all this. Because he didn't just screw Drew over, dude. He screwed Seth Rollins over. Like Punk's gonna have some haters on Raw, man.
Yeah, and Rollins and Punk already had beef, bro. Even back when he returned at Survivor Series, and after that, Seth Rollins just was like, "You don't belong here. This isn't your home anymore," kind of thing. And I like so CM Punk kind of got a 2-for-1 on that one.
Yeah, he killed two birds with one stone. But see, now we got to get into the match, Gray, bro. And I'm going to be truthfully honest and I'm going to be brutal. I had to give that match a D because of the Drew McIntyre thing, because that leaves me at home watching and it leaves all the people at Canada live watching. Was he supposed to kick out? Was he not supposed to kick out? Were we going to have money in the bank for a whole year? Was Drew McIntyre actually supposed to cash in last night? There's so many questions that were left unanswered.
And I gave the match
So
a
I had to give
C.
it a D.
And the only reason I gave it a C was because of Seth Rollins. He was leading the whole time. Like you could obviously tell that the people in the back were telling Damian Priest to slow down and let Rollins lead the match. And
Yeah,
even
because
then, he
even
still was messing up.
like even Michael Cole and Corey Graves on commentary, they were saying that like Seth Rollins can't handle like the speed that he was going. Like they said that live on commentary. You know what I mean? Like they were talking about the speed of how Damian Priest was going. Like I was like, dang, they saying that on TV too. You know, like that. Like, dude, it's starting to get to the point where like they're gonna have to take that title off of Priest, man.
And the only point he's still champion, like to begin with, the only reason he's still champion to begin with, is because CM Punk keeps stopping Drew McIntyre from taking it from him.
And that is solely true, and that's what makes me mad because I mean I'd rather see like at this point I'd rather see Drew McIntyre with the title because I mean at least if he fights Punk it's for a world title now, you know, like why would you not let Drew win?
Yep. A tire grade,
Like
Seth Rollins, the black and gold with the white, thought it looked cool. I gave him an A. But for Damien, I only gave him a B. And the only reason I gave him a B is because he had like a cape and stuff as part of his like entrance attire. Other than that, he just wore his regular singlet. I feel like maybe the purple was placed in a different spot or whatever, but it's not different enough for me to sit there and analyze it and be like, "Wow."
me, I gave Seth Rollins an A because I mean he always every PLE man he shows out. Priest I gave him a B minus because like you said I mean it's just same old same old same old. And then that gets us into what me and you think is got to be the match of the night.
Yeah, definitely the match of the night. They tore the house down.
The women's Money in the Bank ladder match, dude. This had to be one of the most like I'm not even just gonna say one of the best like female wrestling matches, but I'm gonna say extreme female wrestling matches because we've seen female Money in the Bank ladder matches before, bro, and this one was like a banger, dude. Like there's so many crazy spots. And like somewhere in there, like Zoe Stark ate a ladder. Like somebody needs to ask her if she remembers her first name.
Yeah, dude, that botch was crazy. The move looked cool as hell, but she clunked her head pretty good. I was really surprised that she got up and continued to compete because I thought she was concussed for sure.
Yeah, she definitely took a licking, man. And I was like, oh, that looked nasty, you know.
But hey, I was right again. Tiffy time, center of the universe. I already knew. I had already known.
Yeah, and that's crazy too because like your second pick was literally Chelsea Green, and that was the last two people on the ladder. It was either going to be Chelsea Green right then or Tiffany Stratton. So either way, you were right.
Yeah, Chelsea Green was so over with that crowd. They wanted her to win so bad. And honestly, I
The
would
whole
not
her
have been
being scared
upset.
of heights thing, the whole her being scared of heights thing, bro, was just like so like it just like put everything on edge right
Yeah,
then, like
Chelsea
right at the
Green,
moment.
she's so entertaining. She's just really entertaining, and there's not much else to be said about that.
In the
Um,
match grade itself, I gave that one an A+. That was a decent match. Like there's so many good spots, the ladder spots, the table spot with Chelsea Green right when Tiffany won. Like that was a bomb spot, bro. Like I did not expect that.
I gave this match, and I want everyone to take note of this, because this is the only match that I've graded higher. This is the highest graded match I've ever said on the podcast. I'm giving this match a grade of S, above A, because I mean, like I said, they tore the house down. The ladder bumps were brutal. Like it was crazy. They were putting their bodies on the line, and I can respect that, dude. Io was doing crazy stuff. Zoe Stark was trying, dude. She impressed me. I got a little bit more respect for Zoe Stark, especially after taking that botch and continuing to compete. I
Yeah,
mean,
still finished the match.
like what a move from Io, dude. She did to Zoe Stark. You remember? She like hit her on that
Yeah,
ladder that was stretched across the ropes and everything. I mean,
yep.
I even saw Naomi like fall on a ladder and stuff, dude, and she didn't take the bump flat. Like it hit her in the side. I know that hurt. It's like they put aside their own safety and their own well-being to entertain us and to do these crazy spots like Chelsea Green falling through both tables like from the inside of the ring, dude. Like I can't say anything like bad about this match for real. I'm gonna have to give it an S.
Yeah, I hear you there, man. Going into the tire grades, I gave Naomi a C because I mean, she's just got the glow thing going on, bro. I'm kind of tired of that, to be honest with you. I gave Zoe Stark a B- because I mean, she did the little Survivor Series War Games face paint thing. It was kind of cool, you know. I gave Lyra Valkyria a B because it looked like she tried to do something a little different than what she came out in Monday Night Raw, so I liked it a little bit. Tiffany Stratton, I gave her a B as well because I mean she did something different, but like you know I figured she was winning anyway, so like you know it didn't really matter what she came out in, to be honest. Chelsea Green, I also gave her a B- because I figured she was going to come out like some green attire or gold or something. I don't know why, but like that's just what I figured she'd come out in. And I gave EO a C because she just looked like regular damage control, and I figured she, you know, like dressed like she did for the last PLE, so I was kind of dissatisfied a little bit.
Yeah, I gave Naomi a B. Just I mean, there was a palette swap and everything. She tried. Same for Zoe Stark. I gave her a B. Her attire was just a palette swap. She did the extra with the face paint and everything, and she did a good job, bro. You know, but I can't give her higher than a B. Lyra for her attire, I gave her a C, bro. I didn't like hers. I didn't like the way it looked. It looked like fish scales. Like it looked like she was
Yeah,
wearing like a fish. Tiffany Stratton, an A for her attire. No explanation needed on that one.
yeah,
Chelsea Green, an A as well. The red was great. Like she looked good in the red. Io, she just kind of wore her regular attire. I gave her a C. And now we're going to talk about the main event of the night. Solo and his bloodline
boo,
versus Cody and RKO. What'd you
man.
think?
I really, man, I really didn't like the match in the whole. We knew the fake bloodline was winning, but
Obviously.
was but man, not the way it happened, right?
Yeah, no, this match for a main event felt very lackluster. The women's Money in the Bank match should have been the main event.
And I'm not only talking about like I know everybody out there is probably thinking of just the Tama Tonga and Kevin Owens thing. They're thinking of the low blow botch, and
They
that's not
punched him in
even
the butt
all I'm
cheek.
talking about. You know, that's not just what I'm talking about. Like the match in general, man, did not give us the vibe that like this bloodline's taking over. Because dude, you remember how the Usos and Roman Reigns ran havoc, bro, when they first started doing that, bro? You didn't see the people they were fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like how believable is it that you're gonna still like, you know, you dominated them? Like they're gonna be on SmackDown this Friday. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
ain't gonna
it's like you
change
didn't
nothing.
you didn't whoop them that bad because they're going to be on
Like
SmackDown.
we're gonna see Kevin Owens and Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just I'm so tired of seeing that match. They said it themselves over and over, dude. They're like, for the past 4 years, KO and Randy Orton have been facing every incarnation of the bloodline. Okay, you don't think we've seen enough of that by now? The match just didn't have very much like substance. You know, it just fell flat, and then the botch at the end and everything with the getting punched in the butt cheek. That was just the like that was the icing on the cake, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the match
I
grade,
mean,
I had to give it a C because I
dude,
didn't feel Jacob Fatu at all. I didn't feel Tongaloa at all. I mean, I just didn't think that there was anything that big that warranted that to be the main event.
I had to give it a D, man, just because it was in the main event spot. Like, man, I don't know, dude. I just expected a lot more, because like going into it, I figured, somebody like Jimmy or somebody was at least gonna come back,
Yeah, no other bloodline members debuted. Like, I mean, it just kind of felt like the same match we've seen for a minute, just with Cody Rhodes and
Like
Solo added.
kind of like we said about the IC title match earlier, how we said that could have happened on Monday Night Raw. Like this match could have happened on SmackDown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like it didn't feel like a PLE caliber like 6-man tag team match to me. So I had to give it a D. Attire wise, man, I gave the fake bloodline a C because I mean, dude, they're not doing anything
Yeah,
any
they
different,
didn't wear anything different. They didn't wear anything different.
And I had to give KO a B, just because like I like the thing, I like the RKO thing. It's just getting old, you know what I'm saying? I do still like it
Mm.
though; it's relevant
Yeah,
still.
I gave
So I gave
KO and Randy a C as well, bro, because all they did was wear the RKO shirts. And it's
yeah.
like who cares?
And then Cody, I gave him an A because I mean he's my guy, bro. I got to give him an A, so I gave him an A.
You love the baby faces. Um, I gave Cody a B, man, and I just don't think the gold pants with him having blonde hair as well is where it's at. Like blue is his color, dude. He needs to wear more blue. And I've got a gripe with his attire, dude, because they were plugging the boys' TV show hard as hell the whole pay-per-view. They even had it on the briefcase itself hanging above the ring. And if there was ever a time for Cody Rhodes to dress up like Homelander, I think it was I think that was it, bro.
Yeah, that definitely was his opportunity because I've heard everybody talking about that recently.
And I
Like
guess
they all
like
want to see it.
he's not a bad guy, I guess, is why he didn't do it. But like, would all of us been like, Cody's a heel now, Cody's a heel now because he dressed up like Homelander? I don't know.
I mean, would they? I mean, that would be no different than us being like, "Oh, is he a heel now because he's beating up security?"
Yeah, that
So, like,
match,
I really don't know, man.
I just don't have any more feelings about that match. I've got nothing else to say about it. I don't think.
Uh, Going into like a whole Money in the Bank is a whole grade. I gave it a C minus, and I was brutally honest on it. Like, as a fan, there's too much I didn't like about it for me to give it any higher than a C.
And I really want to say A. I want to be generous and I want to be nice and I want to say A. I had a good time watching the pay per view. Don't get me wrong. I had a good time sitting there analyzing things and I had a good time watching my predictions come true. But I think I'm gonna have to say B, dude, because I mean the highs were high, but the lows were low. You know what I
Right?
mean? And I don't think I can say A in good conscience because I feel like it would be a lie.
Yeah. And see now going into our next PLE, which would be SummerSlam, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's actually going to be SummerSlam next, right?
I believe so.
So if they do that, I don't know if they're going to get it 2 nights or not yet. If it's still one night, then like this SummerSlam is probably going to be a super like crazy PLE.
Well, we know two things for certain, and one of them isn't really for certain, but I'm just gonna say so. Uh, we know Damian Priest and Gunther are gonna be facing off at SummerSlam now, and then the other one, CM Punk and Drew might have their match at SummerSlam, unless
Yep.
it's going to be for the World Heavyweight title later on in the year.
Which it what I don't know if you noticed, but when CM Punk screwed over Drew McIntyre, he hit him with the world title and then he held it. Like the
Yeah,
ref had to
yeah.
come get the title from him, you know.
He sat there and like
So
held
like,
it like it was his.
so I was like thinking, I was like, okay, I know what they're trying to do. They gonna end up carrying a side with CM Punk on this, and like that might build into something huge, bro. I'm down for it.
I think it's only a matter of time for CM Punk to be World
So
Heavyweight
we'll
Champion.
we'll definitely see what happens at SummerSlam, bro, because they gotta quit doing this to Drew anyway. You know, like his fans are probably pissed.
I'm wondering at this point, it's like, what's Drew gonna do after CM Punk beats him? Because is Drew McIntyre gonna go over CM Punk? I don't really think so.
I couldn't see it, bro.
So I'm wondering where this is gonna take Drew McIntyre after everything's said and done with CM Punk.
Dude, they better not be trying to put him in another faction after
Hey, 3MB's coming back after this.
this. Well, dang, dude, right now, if they came back, they'd be the most dominant force in the WWE if you think about it.
Heath Slater just needs to get on some roids and get jacked, and then come back and complete the prophecy.
Dude, he's already way bigger than what he was when he left.
Because every
They've
other
all
member
gotten
of
bigger.
3MB has won the WWE Championship. Heath Slater needs to come back and fulfill the prophecy.
Dude, that's one prediction that you just brought up in the podcast. That's crazy, man. This man's had a prediction for years and years and years that this will come true. So like the only thing that has to happen is our boy Heath Slater has to come back to WWE and either win the WWE or World Heavyweight Championship, a main title, and it's fulfilled.
Yep, and wouldn't that be insane?
That'd be the longest like prediction ever, dude. I that's crazy. I would love to see that one come true because I mean he's established himself. Like you don't want to talk about other sports news entertainment, you know, like the other people outside, you know, that like we used to see wrestle in WWE and lot, dude, they're out there still wrestling. They just they wrestle like indie scenes and stuff now. So it's not all impossible for some of them guys to come back and work with some of these newer guys, you know.
Especially now the Forbidden Door is being knocked down little by little. You never know.
And coming into SummerSlam, bro, like SummerSlam is right around the time I'm pretty sure the New Japan and all them tries to do their like Forbidden Door things, bro. Like they actually have a pay per view they have called Forbidden Door or something. So like, dude, just think what's in store for like SummerSlam, bro. Like there could be so many things going on.
And so I really do think that's it for Money in the Bank.
Yep, that's about it on that one, man. Until the next podcast.
Yep, that is our reactions and our thoughts on what happened. And
Like, comment,
yeah,
subscribe.
like I said, say my name. Say my name down in the comments for being right. And if you were right, also, if anyone else like was in the 1% like me and called Drew McIntyre cashing in for a triple threat and then getting screwed, so let me know that too. I want to know whether or not that was actually like an uncommon prediction.
Yeah, if you gambled on Drew McIntyre winning and you won some money, hit my boy Devin Still up.
No, no, don't tell me how much you won because then I'll be angry. But for now, the Fan Connection podcast is out of here.